Hey, we're live.
Yay! It's the Flippin Bunch on Wednesday evening. Here for your entertainment. This is not alcohol. I just want you to know.
Oh, okay. Thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Kat from Owling Dog, and tonight we're going to go introduce ourselves from, let's go, let's, I'm going to confuse it. Let's go counter starting with Crystal, Dar, and Levon. How's that sound? We'll keep everybody on
Okay.
their toes. Hi, Crystal.
Hi, everybody. I'm Crystal. I'm the Crafty Creech. I do lots and lots of furniture flips and other DIY type stuff, crafts, and everything. I love it all. That's you, Dar.
Okay. Hey, my name is Dar. I am from DIYs by Dar. You can catch me on mostly every social media and YouTube with my name, DIYs by Dar. If you're looking for something different, multi-techniques, multimedia pieces, you want to take your furniture to the next level art piece, well, that's what I do.
Yay.
You're up.
Right. And I'm Levon from Statement Designs. And I primarily do furniture flipping, but I also, and especially now, I'm doing more smalls, just because of having a little room in a coffee house, or basically a booth, you could say. So that's what I'm up to these days.
Yay. Well, thanks everyone for coming on. I really appreciate it. It's
Happy
always
New
a
Year.
challenge for me to do these StreamYard lives. So we're getting there. A little late, so I apologize if anybody's out there. And let me go back to see if I can see if there are people on. But tonight we're going to discuss organizational things and organization ideas.
Give me some.
Give you
I'll
a-
take some.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it's an ongoing thing. I know for myself, I'm always kind of growing and changing, I guess. So my needs change, and I learn more and more what works for me, right, in my space. So it just evolves all the time, for sure. Do you find that, you guys, ladies?
Well, I'm redefining when you talk about your needs changing. That's what I'm in the middle of doing. I'd rather say I'm almost to the end of doing. I'm actually going to start actual work tomorrow. But I've divided now with my new life. I've divided my workspace into 3 different areas. So I have a workshop where I'll do primarily the furniture end of it, and then my little office craft room area for small stuff. And then I've also, relegated myself to the fact that it just isn't going to all fit up here. So I've created a new space in the basement where I have my silhouette, and I'll do some maybe larger pieces there. So the trick is to have enough paint to cover all those areas. I need paint in all those areas, and I need glue, and I need brushes. It's funny. It's just like I have to remember to take everything from space to space. Until I get that ironed out, those are my challenges.
So I wanted to ask you, Lavon, when you said you actually start work tomorrow, it's not how do I say this? Is it a formal other position, or is it?
Oh no. So I haven't really done any videos. So I want to do a piece for a video, and I just want to do a small piece. I have something in mind that I think I can do pretty efficiently. And then I also have a custom piece an order for a custom piece, and it's out there. And
Okay.
also where my workspace is, that is in the home. Well, so I did a kitchen for some people, and they are snowbirds. They go back and forth to Florida. So they have a 2-car detached garage, which is
Right.
heated and air conditioned. So I can use that space in exchange for doing some work for them as well.
Yeah.
So next up on the docket is their staircase. They want to stain the top cap of the staircase. We're not doing the spindles yet. They decided not to do the spindles right away, but we're going to do the top cap. So, so I'm doing that. And I'm still getting organized out there. So I plan on hanging out there all day tomorrow.
Oh, that's good. Believe it or not, and I'm interrupting, I'm sorry, but you said the staircase, and that's exactly what I was going to do for my project this week. I was just going to start it.
Oh.
That's bizarre that we're both going to do the same thing.
You're doing spindles, huh?
No, that I won't be doing that part, not yet, because I have to use product in the house, and I can't. I just can't bear to smell that for. There's Gretchen. Thanks, Gretchen. I'm glad you finally found us. I couldn't bear to have that like in my head all the time, like with the doors closed and windows closed.
Yeah, it's oil based and it stinks. So
yeah.
Well, we're glad you found us, Gretchen.
Yay.
Hi, Gretchen.
So we're talking about organization tonight. So, Dar, how do you stay organized?
Yeah.
Well, as you guys probably already know, I am not the most organized person when it comes to my workshop. It seems like when I start working on something, everything comes out.
Yeah.
That's all through my hat is for what I'm working on at the moment in this small workshop. So I could be organized. The only thing, saving grace, I have taken a tip from, remember when Twitch was on all the time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She had a tip for organization. She said, as soon as you get done with one job, pick everything up, put it all away so you know where it's all at before you start your next one, which I tried to start doing, and has helped a lot because this room can be rather dangerous when everything's like laying out everywhere, and when you take a look,
then you can't find it.
Right. Well, that's the frustrating part. You got it. You can't find it until you start cleaning everything up. Oh, there it is. You have to see it today again.
Doesn't that drive you crazy?
But with the new year, it seems like everybody takes a look at how things went for them over the last year and looking at the upcoming year and trying to figure out ways to work more efficiently, to be more productive, to be happier with your life.
Yeah.
Content.
It does make you less stressed, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're more organized, I think that it would really take down on some of your stress. And I think everybody's solution is going to be different, depending on what your lifestyle is, if you have kids and other jobs and things that you need to go to. You really, really have to be organized. Really.
Exactly. What say you, Crystal?
I'm like Levon. I have many designated closets, spaces. I don't really have necessarily a craft room. Like Dar, I know you got a nice little room there where you craft in. I'm just kind of all over the place. It just really depends on the day, the weather, where I'm going to be. I prefer the summertime when I can be outside and working on projects and sanding and doing everything outside. In the wintertime, I'm usually in the dining room. or now I have the cabin. I have the cabin now too. I spend time out there in the cabin and I work in there when it's not freezing cold out or scorching hot. So, I mean, when there's kind of like a happy medium in spring or fall. So, I mean, I don't mind being hot. I definitely would rather be hot than be cold. So,
exactly.
yeah.
Do you find it a challenge taking, like, having multiples of things or taking them from one place to the other?
I do. I lose things all the time. I feel like I spend more time looking for something than I actually am working on the project.
Right.
Like I could literally hide my own Easter eggs. I can't find nothing. I don't know where I put stuff, or I think I put it there, and then I go look for it. I'm like, no, it's not there. And then I go I'm going through it and I find something else I was looking for, or I find I have 2 or 3 different items. Like, oh, I was looking for this and I ended up buying another thing, like a rotary cutter. I just went out and bought a rotary cutter because I couldn't find my rotary cutter. And then I was looking for something else and I found my rotary cutter. What?
It's true. It's
absolutely true. So, I mean, I could always use 2 rotary cutters, I guess. I mean, you know, I can keep like Levon. I can keep one upstairs and one downstairs, or one in another spot. I mean,
yeah. Then you
would make it easier to find if I have 2. I'd hope.
Some people think that, we're all a little bit obsessive compulsive. They say OCD, which is a real diagnosis for psych. Not a good one either. But we all have different levels of, I have to do this thing by, the same way, or at least my own way, or whatever way I've fashioned every time because it helps me. But for people who do have that tendency, it's almost worse, because if you're in a hurry, I have a tendency of putting things back in the same place every time. Like it faces the same way. Like all my labels have to face forward and all that.
Oh.
Right? I know.
Yeah, I'm not like that.
That doesn't mean that I don't lose things. And I swear, it doesn't mean that I put something back in the same place, because if I'm in a hurry, or if I get interrupted by a phone call, you know what I mean? Or something happens, or I have to go back, to the house and, use the restroom.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie Sleeping with the Enemy?
Oh gosh, it's been, I think so. I think it's been a long time. Was that with Julia Roberts?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Her husband was all OCD and had had everything in exactly the towels lined up and everything in the cupboard facing.
Yeah, so he'd know if she did something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I don't envy anybody that has that severe severe case of that.
I can leave the house. That when it's severe, people they can't do anything because they have to keep going and checking and rechecking.
Right.
I don't have that. It's just that we have tendencies to, everyone has it to a certain degree. It helps. It's helpful if it's little. Gretchen says, I also put everything back where it belongs. Yeah. It's so good if you do. Hate looking for things, but I live with other people who could care less.
I often get sidetracked myself. So even sometimes I'll be going to put something away, and then I'll see something, and then I'll set it somewhere, and then I'll forget where I set it. I don't know if I don't know if I've developed some form of adult ADHD in my life, or maybe I just have never been diagnosed. I get sidetracked. Yeah, I'm always getting sidetracked.
No, but
speaking of that, don't mind me. I'm digging a staple out of my hand.
Oh my God!
Not a staple, splinter. I'm sorry.
Oh God, I was like a staple.
No drama here, splinter.
Yeah, so that happens to me quite often where I forget where I put things or just misplace things. And yes, children and husbands and we all do it to each other, right, Gretchen? We're
Oh, I
my
thought you meant you
husband and
misplaced your children and husband.
yeah, we go back and forth all the time. Like, do you know where this is? And I'm like, no, I don't know where that is. Where did you put it? Where did I put it? And then we're getting into arguments.
It's true.
Got it.
It's a real struggle. So
Oh,
yeah. But I think I should probably do the advice like Twitch said, put it away right away. Maybe then I wouldn't have so many problems. But then I'm gonna need to dig it right out, probably right after. I don't know. I got a big mess upstairs going right now. I got to put everything away.
it's awful.
They always say about cleaning, like, why do I need to just pick all this stuff up? Because I'm going to be painting this thing again tomorrow. So I'm just going to leave all these paints and these brushes all here.
That's what I do.
Cleaning.
Mhm.
I clean it because I'm going to clean it in like 3 days. It's going to look like I never cleaned it anyway. So I'll let it go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, I was actually, it's just funny we're talking about that because I've been working on this jewelry armor for like 3 days and I've kept everything out. And today I was starting to finish up on it. So I started putting things away. Well, guess what happened? I needed them again. I was like, oh, I missed a spot right here. I see a touch up right there. I had to go dig everything back out. I'm like, oh gosh, this is just, I don't know.
I know. The paint do you have paint keys everywhere? I have them everywhere. I have them in my drawers. I have them hanging places because that's one thing that, like, I don't know why. When I'm in the store getting paint, if I happen to go like to the Ben Moore store, because I go there every once in a while and buy the samples when they're half price because I
You call
love
them
their
Ben.
samples. And I always get 2 or 3 paint keys because I just literally have them everywhere. Because there's nothing more frustrating than having bad knees and you're crunched down on the floor.
I lost all mine. I use butter knives. I have butter knives.
That's a good way to do it.
Or screwdrivers.
Yeah.
Or screwdrivers. Yep.
I often open little cans like that. I open it up and I put
Oh,
it in.
yeah. Then the scissors don't work anymore. And then you have to get more scissors.
Yeah, my scissors are crappy, except for my good ones. But
Yeah, there you got that one pair nobody's allowed to touch.
Exactly.
yes,
Yeah,
I now
the
have
one
my
that's hidden,
decoupage
right,
scissors
Crystal?
and I have my
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
secret
fabric scissors and just all that.
Yeah.
drawer. Oh, yeah.
Nobody touches those. And they know if they do, they get
That's
they
right.
get it.
That's right. It's a rule.
All right. Well, I have a very difficult question for each one of you. Do you have any upcoming goals or plans with how you're going to approach social media, trying to grow more on social media? Well, we're trying to grow more on YouTube because we're doing this live, but those types of things I'm finding now, kind of because I think we're all a little bit around the same range between 1,500 subs to 3,000 subs. And that's where I see a lot of people either letting this whole thing go or really taking the bull by the horns and just going with it. But very few go it alone at this point. It seems like they hire somebody to help them because they can't do it all. They can't do, like, I don't know what, they hire a production person, hire somebody to take care of graphics for them, like all that kind of stuff. But we're all trying to do it on our own. So are there anything plans you're looking at coming up in the new year or ways to meet those goals?
Well, myself, I freed up some time, obviously, by not working at Atlas anymore. So I am cheap, so I don't want to pay somebody to do and I'm also not a control freak, but it's hard for me to let go of that creative process, and let someone else edit or make graphics. Although, I have learned, because when I had the store, I often would get kids from Career Link. And so sometimes, when you're just so busy, sometimes I would give them a job, and then I'd be surprised that, what they would do. And I'd have to learn to let go a little bit of some of that. So I have learned that a little bit, but now there's nobody but me. And I'm just, Dar, you and I talked last night a little bit about the algorithm, and, if you do something different than you're doing, how you kind of screw up your, what YouTube shows people and all that. So I'm going to try to focus myself on sticking with my Sunday step by step. And then I really want to do Tuesday talk. And of course our Wednesday show, but Tuesday talk. But I want to make it exclusive for channel members. But right now I only have like 4 channel members. So my thoughts are perhaps to, with my channel members kind of blessing, I'll still do some exclusive for them. But I thought I would do some Tuesday talks, and some of them edited, some of them live, and just let people know that this is a limited time thing, and that I'll be doing in the future. You have to join in order to get this content. So that's my thought. Those are my plans.
For me, I'm with Levon. I not that I'm cheap either, but I'm one of the type of people is, if I'm not making enough out of it, I like to kind of what's the word? Whatever I make, I put it back into it. So if I'm not making enough money to hire somebody to make, my money back or double my money, I don't see a point in paying somebody if I'm just going to kind of go in the hole and be negative or whatever. And so that's probably not an option for me unless I hit, 100,000 subscribers and I'm making, buku bucks or something like that. And then I could give, I can hire somebody and have them help me or whatever. Yeah. This year, I would like to maybe hit 2,500, 3,000 subscribers. That would be amazing. I would be really, thrilled to do that. So we'll see how it goes. But I really would like to try and maybe start posting some of my furniture pieces online, such as like Etsy or something like that, which has just been a really scary thing for me because the whole shipping process and everything like that you ship. And I'm always concerned. I'm one of those type of people that I just doubt myself constantly. Oh, they're not going to like it. So I'm always worried, like, okay, if I ship this piece of furniture to somebody, what if they hate it? What if they don't like it? What am I going to do? So that's why when I sell things, I always encourage my buyers to come look at it first, just, because they are vintage pieces, used pieces of furniture. They're not perfect. They're going to be imperfection. There's going to be dings and, stuff like that. Just things that happen through their life. So that's just kind of a goal for me. I've always have little things that I always want to try and do better and learn better, but it can be really overwhelming, even just with just day-to-day life that goes on with kids and family and household things that you have to deal with, trying to balance your YouTube schedule and your family schedule. So not any really super huge goals for me. I'm just going to just keep plugging along for the most part.
Yeah, I don't have any particular goals for I don't want to disappoint myself. I've had enough disappointments that I'm not going to be disappointed in YouTube. I get frustrated just looking at it sometimes, that's frustrating enough. So I'm not going to give myself, that might be defeatist. I don't know. And you can tell me if you think that's true. I wanted to just acknowledge some of the comments that Gretchen has been making. And she says she watches a lot of, this is good because I agree. She watches a lot of cleaning and woodworking videos, and she's noticed that people get a lot of subscribers by chatting during other creators' lives. It creates interesting communities. I never thought about it that way, Gretchen. Yeah, I mean, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I've had that experience. I
We do have a community.
Yeah. I mean, I've watched Jamie Ray vintage videos, and I've commented before on that, and I feel like I've gotten some people from that from time to time.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Kat, you and I were talking the other day, just by making comments too. It doesn't have to be a live, but
right. Yeah.
Rochelle, I had made a comment on her video,
Yeah.
and she made some answer back, and at the time I remember thinking, because she was a brand ambassador for Dixie Belle,
Right.
and I remember thinking,
long ago,
right? I want more from that answer. So I answered back again, and I told her I was a fellow Dixie Belle retailer, and then I apparently went and watched one of my videos, and she came back, and what did she say? Oh, how Australians say, would you be keen on meeting some other YouTubers? And so that's how I met Twitch and all those.
Oh, wow.
All those people. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
sorry, Gretchen.
Yeah, good point, Gretchen.
Yeah.
So what about you, Dar? Any goals?
Well, I think I'm on board with you on trying to embrace U-ship, because our areas for selling, we're in Michigan, we're in, I think, somewhat rural areas that are economically declined. And I think the only way that we are ever going to really move our stuff is if we put it online, because I have the food. And when I do my taxes this year, I am going to see, because I'm going to have a whole year time frame to see if it was really worth it or not. And if not, I'm just kind of wasting my time and energy into a whole nother area and a whole nother aspect of different types of items to stock in that booth. So I think I kind of probably am going to have to get out of that booth, and it'll save me $300 a month.
Yeah.
And put that kind of energy into just putting the stuff online. I have 3 stores, and right now Etsy is the only one that has anything in it. I have an Amazon store and I have an eBay store, getting charged for them, and I have nothing in them. So that's not real smart. So I think I really want to do that, and I want to get a handle on the function of this StreamYard program, which I've been really researching a lot. And then this comes to my next question for y'all. Have you been getting emails from people that want to help you do better on YouTube? And
Always.
yeah, they'll help you figure out your SEQs. And I guarantee you 300 new subscribers in a month, and 1,000 views in a month, and all it's going to cost you is $60.
Yeah, I only hit report spam every single time.
Yeah. You know what? I had an idea when you ladies were talking, but as far as moving products and hopefully, Gretchen, this isn't like write a post and tell us what kind of thing you're doing there at home, or wherever. Not everybody that comments on YouTube has a YouTube, and there are people who comment that we don't know that they have a YouTube. And I actually do try to click. If somebody comments a lot, I'll click on the name because I want to see if there's somebody that, I can support too, because I know, how hard it is to be a small YouTuber. But my thought was, as far as pushing product, what we could do is, for whatever venue you like to present your product, whether you have a website, whether you have a store, whether you have an Etsy, eBay, it doesn't matter. But at the end of the video, just show 2 things that you have around and say, hey, here are the products that I wanted to show you this week. And if you have any interest in any of these products, you can find it on blah, blah, blah. You don't have to go through, like, I've gone through my entire shop sometimes on a live or whatever. But it doesn't have to be like that. It can be a simple thing like, oh, this, whatever project you just finished working on. Like, hopefully we're going to see the full YouTube for that armoire, Crystal, because
this weekend. That's as soon as I finished it today, I started on the video. I've just had one of those days.
It's so beautiful. But
thank you. And yes, the paper and I have another armoire. I'm going to be working with more made by Marley paper from Dar. So I am just I think I told you guys that I scored two jewelry armoires in one weekend.
Oh, they're one of my favorite little pieces to work on, because it's so versatile and you can do anything that's in your mind. It's just excellent. Gretchen said, I don't have a YouTube channel, although apparently years ago I accidentally created a public playlist. I'm recovering from a toxic job and trying to find my way. I'm lucky to be able to slack off for a few months. Well, there you go. And this is a good time to slack off.
Yes.
I just feel good when I can get out of bed in the morning.
Yeah, with this weather, it's crazy.
I know. I had 2 weeks to slack off with the kids on Christmas break, and now I have to get up at the butt crack of dawn with the cows and the chickens.
I
don't like it.
I've adjusted really quickly to not getting up at 5:30 in the morning. I don't know. I thought it was just a given. That was just when I was going to wake up, but it's kind of more like 7:30 now.
Lucky.
Yeah. Crystal, did you use BM paper on that armoire?
The which one?
The one you just got done. Is that made by Marley paper?
Yeah, that one came from Levon for when we won the thrift challenge that they hosted. So that and the paint came from Levon too. So yeah, you sent me the most beautiful colors. Like, I never would have probably picked that for myself. So it was kind of like a challenge for me, because I feel like I stick in this little box of like blues and greens, and these purples were just so different to me. So I really loved working with them, and it's kind of, opened up my horizons a little bit.
And you did the blending on the legs. I love how you took the legs off to do that.
I did. It was so easy.
That's smart.
I never take anything apart, because I think we've talked about this before, because I can never get it back together. So, but I watched, have you guys heard of MTZ Crew? I think her name is. Mm-hmm. MTZ Crew. Well, she does have a YouTube channel, but I think it's mostly shorts. But I also follow her on Facebook and on TikTok. But she just did an armoire before, and she took it all apart. So I felt very confident. I was like, she took it apart. I can do it too.
I have something on my mind that Dara and I touched on last night. So you mentioned Etsy, and so I was reading a comment from someone recently that just said how the fees on Etsy are just ridiculous now. And I forget what, like, the cost of the item that they sold and how little they got out of it. And it was pathetic. So anyway, I mentioned last night about, have any of you used Tedoo? Tedoo, I think is how you spell it.
No, I haven't even heard of it.
Well, I've been hearing about it all over the place lately.
Really?
So I decided to download the app and oops, that's Ticketmaster, not Tedoo. Here it is. I think they have something to do with Michaels, but it's Teddoo. Because it seems like they just keep popping up all this stuff about Michaels, which Michaels also has a maker space now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can do a page on Michaels' website now and sell your items.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's really cool.
Anyway, when I was setting it up, it asked if I wanted to set up a shop, and they don't have any seller fees.
Wow.
So, and it's also, so someone described it like Pinterest, you can arrange things and look at your interests in that way, but also it's like social media as well, because you can have groups and stuff and belong to chat groups and that kind of thing. So I'm really just getting my feet wet with a little bit. I haven't really done too much about it, but they're telling me to add my first post. But, anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up because I don't know if you can use UShip. I guess you can use UShip independently with whatever, like if you sell things on your website or Etsy.
There is a shipper on Instagram,
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's a husband and wife team. And I haven't ever heard anything bad about them. I was going to ship something with them once, but it was for my friend Patty down south. And she ended up not taking the piece of furniture. So I ended up not using them. But they were very, I can't think of the name of it, but I can find them. And when I find the link, I'll send it to you all on Facebook. Because I don't always see them posting, but they used to post a lot, like they were all over the whole country. And that's what they did, was they moved products from furniture artists. So they have a really good reputation.
So I understand, like with UShip, for instance, like there's a community of shippers, but like usually you end up with one shipper that's your guy, But
if it works out, if you sell enough, if you move enough product, that you can become familiar, because the person that's going to come up to the mountains in Pennsylvania is most likely going to be the same guy or girl, you know what I mean? The same team. Yeah, for sure. And another thing I wanted to say was, Crystal, you mentioned you were nervous about selling. I'm always nervous about selling. And believe it or not, I have like it's not really 100% guarantee, but it's 100% guarantee if they bring it back in the same condition and they haven't broken it. I'll take a piece back. And when I get money for something, I don't spend it for 30 days. It sits a place, and I just don't even consider that money's mine. And as far as shipping something, they would have to ship it back at their own,
Right. That's what I would think too. Yeah. But, I know my husband has a burning desire to take my furniture around. He keeps telling me, you start selling it online and I'll deliver it. He's got So
well, hey, maybe we'll just like tap in on your husband's burning
there you
desire,
go.
and then
hey, I like
he
this.
can start his own business, and yeah.
I know.
Oh yeah.
She lives in Texas and she delivers her own furniture, or she used to.
Yeah.
That's how she started out, and I'll tell you, she drove across the country with that thing.
Yeah. I know Leora, Diamonds from the Rough. She has delivered some furniture up to like 5-6 hours before.
Yeah.
I believe, she's taken furniture, but I did get a number from her for her guide that she uses for
Okay,
U-Ship. So
good,
I'm
good.
just still so nervous about it. I don't know why.
It gets better. Everybody's nervous. Even if you listen to Brandy, from Brush by Brandy,
Mhm.
she's always nervous about shipping.
Yeah.
And it isn't just
Until
shipping.
she
I get
has to-
nervous.
Yeah.
until she
I get
has to-
nervous when I'm in the shop and I watch somebody take it, or
Yes.
move. It's like I can't even watch,
I'm so glad you all feel the same way about that too, because I do. I feel like that, like, oh my gosh, like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, did it make it there safely?
Exactly.
Just it's like it's just one of those things. I'm like terrified that something's gonna break or
Yeah. Even if they take it out of my shop, I will wrap it for them and help them put it in their car. And like, I
Yeah.
don't want that thing, like, until you're actually using it, I don't want to, know that it's scratched or whatever on the way home.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can do
okay
the
if the
parts
end
home.
user is loading it because I know they'll take care of it. But if she sends her husband or somebody, they're like slamming it around, and I'm just like losing my mind.
Right. Right.
Yes. And Dar probably doesn't see any of that because she's in a booth. She doesn't see her furniture leave.
That's what the dollar amounts for, so I don't have
Get
to
off your brow.
Look at Gretchen's comment. She had to help her husband get out of his new coat, the zipper nuts.
I know, I was laughing when I read that.
Well, I immediately read his zipper was stuck, and I'm like, what? And I didn't realize it said about the coat.
You were thinking a different zipper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Levon, mind right to the gutter.
Yep, that's me.
Well, you grew up in Texas, so do you
Yeah.
know, Gretchen, have you heard of, what the heck is her business name? Her first name is Quita, Quitta, and
I think that is her name.
it's not the name of her business though.
No. Oh,
Texas is a big place, but she's famous in Texas.
yeah.
Um,
She kind of laid back for a while. I didn't see anything from her for a while, and then
she
she
doesn't do YouTube, but she's a big furniture artist. You know what she does? And I love it. I want to do this. I want to steal this idea. Not every time she does a piece of furniture, but often she actually creates a piece, like a canvas to go with it.
Oh, yes.
It's got the same colors, like the
Yeah,
crazy background. Oh my God, she's so talented.
Oh, you know who I love? Turquoise Iris.
Yes.
They're friends.
We're all friends. Turquoise, Iris, Debbie Beard, and
Yeah.
Quita, but I forget the name of her business. Shabby, something about something shabby.
All shabbed out.
All shabby.
Okay.
I had to look.
She's awesome.
I cheated.
Yeah, she's so good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Funny.
I know.
Fun. Yeah,
It's we're always inspired by each other, aren't we? Everybody's furniture piece.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. I just see other people's furniture and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I love that so
Yeah.
much.
It's
Sorry, we can't hear you. I can see your
Dar?
lips moving, but I can't hear you, Dar.
You can't hear me at all.
Now I can.
Oh, now we can.
That's right. I'm saying I don't know who any of them people are. You guys watch a lot more of tubers working on stuff than I do. I'm watching all the things on how to make your YouTube channel grow. The first thing you do, go on here and toggle this, untoggle that. Like that, I'm a nervous wreck.
I've looked at that stuff. It's just, it's all kind of lies, though. It's all lies.
Well, I don't even know enough to know enough about it. I'm just thinking, all right, let's
Yeah.
walk that one off. Let's turn that one on.
Yeah. No,
Thank
I
you.
know. It's not your fault. It's not our fault. It's just a craziness. It's like it's so much luck. And yeah, check her out. She's on Facebook mostly, I think, Gretchen. Facebook and sometimes on Instagram, but mostly Facebook.
Gretchen
So
said, seriously, chat on others' posts. She said, you all deserve more followers. Thank you. We appreciate that.
thank you. Yeah. Hey, you know what though? If one person that I follow and adore, and I've learned so much. I don't know why I put hair on my face. Thomas Johnson. Colin knew a lot about painting and antique finishes and stuff like that, but he really didn't refinish antique furniture. It's just a different thing. He refinished like wood and doors and shutters and things like that, and floors and interior finish. And so he knew everything about all those chemicals and all. But as far as like doing the veneer and all those kind of repairs and the glues and the clamping and all that stuff, Thomas Johnson restoration, he's had a YouTube channel forever, and it took him like 100 years to grow because he didn't do any of that stuff. I think even in the recent years he just got somebody to help him on the camera. But you know what he did? And I love this. Dar, just proof you're an artist. Cat is right. Yeah. I mean, they might be speaking a truth that works for somebody, but it's just not a fail-safe thing. It just doesn't work for everybody. But what Tom does, Thomas Johnson, he is amazing. He's just a love of a guy, and he's funny in the driest kind of way. He's this little old man, which makes me feel good about being a little old lady.
Check him out.
He takes like a camera stand, and he put like a round thing on it, like the Tom Hanks there that he had the ball.
Wilson.
Yeah.
So he's got this head on this camera stand, and it's exactly the same height as him. So
That's
what he
hilarious.
does is he puts the camera stand there with the ball head, and then he gets his camera set on it so that it's the right height. How many times have you cut your head off? Or been to the right or to the left or some stupid thing, and it's like, wow, nobody saw what I just did.
I know, and then it's something you can never recreate. Yeah.
No, and you brought up a good point, and to answer Dar's question from earlier, things that you plan on doing, that is something that I really want to pay attention to this year, is like not having, sometimes when I watch my videos back, like I'll be like, okay, that was stupid. I'm up here, my hand's up here. You can't even see what I'm working on. And I'm really going to try to work on that and be more, mindful when I'm filming. And another thing I want to do too. So I do everything on my phone, and that's why I get a good phone, because it's also a good camera. So, but I have, every time I upgrade, I just wipe out the old phone, and I still have a good camera. So I want to do, like I'm filming something, and I want to film 2 different angles at the same time, because then when I'm editing, I can, cut in. What's the statistic? Somebody said like, how many, is it every 30 seconds you should be changing the
4
picture?
to 6. That's what Margie said.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
Margie said 4 to 6 seconds you should be changing angle, or zooming in or doing something different, and that keeps the viewer's attention. She learned that from Mr. Beast, I guess.
that's not 100% true, and it's just my opinion. And in this show, we get to give our opinions, so
That's
it's
right.
fine. Under some circumstances, that would be correct. But if you're watching an artist or an artisan like Thomas Johnson, You do not want that camera flipping around. You want to watch him, right? Gretchen, make a comment. He knows so much about antiques. He'll pull some 200-year-old furniture in 150 pieces and we finish it. And his camera doesn't go back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
I appreciate you all producing the videos. It's hard enough to create. Yeah. You don't see me getting up off the floor either, Gretchen. That's something I should show. Yeah, I mean, it is good in a way. Like, yeah, sure, you don't want somebody to be bored, like that you're going to just stand in front of the camera at one angle. I totally agree with that. In that way, that like that's kind of true. But when you're showing something that you do, honestly, I know I'm only one person, but I'll go crazy if you start flipping around and going forward and back. And
Well, I think the thing is like so like in that case where you're watching a tutorial where someone's teaching. If they're teaching, then yeah, you want to see everything. But I always tell people I don't do tutorials. I say this is what I did. This is how I did it. You know, so
it's still a tutorial though.
you know, yes, to a degree, but I mean, if there's something that I feel like I do have a nugget to share, you know, I do share it. But if it's something that I just like, it's experimental or something that I'm just telling them, this is how I did it. But I also think it's cool sometimes when you're sanding the top of a dresser or something. I feel like it gets boring after a while to look at that endless sanding, you know, and I do think it's cool and I think it does get people's attention, say that you all of a sudden have a picture at the end of the, you know, the piece and you're watching the sandpaper come to you or something.
That part of it I love, and I love
little
doing
things like
angles like that.
Yeah.
Also, I like to go underneath while I'm doing something, and so I think it. In other words, I agree with it. I agree with changing the angles, but I disagree that you have to do it every 4 to 6 seconds through the whole video to keep somebody interested. It's not true. You know, Gretchen, I'm afraid to get on the floor in the first place.
Yeah, I'm not afraid to get there. It's getting up. That's the part I'm afraid of.
I made a really big mess yesterday because I was scooting around and I had a whole full bottle of brown antiquing wax. It just spilled and I just started scooping it up, trying to save it. And it looked like I looked down at my hands. I'm like, it looks like I've been playing in diarrhea poop.
It's a good thing it wasn't red paint. You would have looked like you murdered someone.
Yes, it did. I was like, man, it was like inches from getting on the carpet. I'm like,
now were you filming?
No, I wasn't filming.
That would have been a great outtake.
Yeah, it would have been a funny one. That's for sure.
My favorite one is
save our product. Oh no, our product.
Yeah.
I know.
Pull the carpet fibers out.
Yep. Yeah, who knows how much dirt and stuff's in it, but
this is totally unrelated, but it just reminded me.
It's a little texture.
Yeah. So yesterday I had to have a mammogram. So
oh God, I hate those.
Oh, I hate it too. So I'm having it done, and I look down on the thing, and I see one of my dog's hairs. I'm thinking, how does this happen? And then I said something to the tech. I'm like, you know, she was very nice. And so that started a whole dog discussion. And she said, oh, there's always a dog hair somewhere. Oh my gosh. So I'm in your pain.
Gretchen, you're so generous.
Yes.
Oh, my face hurts, you guys. Always making me laugh.
Dog hairs everywhere.
Right. There's a difference between shorts and longs. That's true. I personally prefer longs. Me too. I like Thomas Johnson's hour-long video. I grab a cup of coffee, put my feet up, my blood pressure drops about 30 points. Yeah. But it's not for everybody. Some people don't have time to watch an entire video. I think you have to find your people. And it's taking me longer to find my people.
Well, hopefully it happens eventually for all of us.
Yes, hopefully we'll find a few more thousand people soon.
You know what I love to watch too is this has nothing to do with furniture art, but I love to watch videographers, and I learn about video just from watching what they do. It doesn't have to be like a furniture or refinishing or anything, but if you watch somebody who's good, my computer's just going off and off and off. Every time it reaches like the hour or the half hour, there's like everybody sends a notification that they're posting.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear all that. What was I saying?
Videography. Do you like to watch?
Yeah. So these people, like people who do exploration, van life, hiking, all that stuff, like they put, of course, they have mega beautiful equipment. Some of these people just have a lot of money that they do all this stuff. But on the other hand, you've got a guy like Martin, I forget his last name. He's a guy from, I think he's from Norway, and he's in the Alps in Italy. And he does all his video with one camera and one drone. Now, granted, he's really good at the drone, but it's only an added feature at certain times in the video. He does most of his work with one camera. Like if we dare complain, like Doulard, that's his last name, Martin Doulard. He is refinishing cabins in the Alps.
Wow.
So he literally had to put all the solar up there and the batteries, and he's working in the snow, and he's building a kitchen outside so he can build a fire and have coffee. I mean, this guy is down in the dirt, right? He's got the one camera, and yet he's got that camera. It's like set, and it shows him like scraping the wood, and then he moves it again. It shows him walking by, and you get to see this. The whole thing is mesmerizing. And when you think that he's doing it with one camera, I know that one of the people on Flippin YouTubers on Facebook, one of the commenters on there had said they wanted to learn more about the camera. And I said, watch Martin Doulard. And he came back and he said, I can only watch him take care of his chickens for so long. And I thought, that isn't what I meant. It isn't what I meant at all about like the content. Watch his work, like watch what he does, because that's pretty amazing. So if I feel like complaining, I think about this guy in the freezing cold with snow up to his knees, moving the camera all over these different. Yeah. Oh, let's see. It's spelled really weird. Doolard, I believe. Doolard. Yeah. I mean, it's incredible.
I don't know about the Swiss Alps, Gretchen. I think I'd like to live in a cabin like in someplace a little warmer.
Virginia. Or
maybe the Philippines or, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, for sure. All those spices.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about the blue zones? There's one of those in Costa Rica where the average age of people live, it's like the oldest, more people live to an older age than anywhere else. There's I think maybe 5 blue zones in the whole world. And I think there's one in Costa Rica.
One has to be in Italy too.
I think it is. I think there's one in Japan too, in Okinawa or something. I think I'm saying that right.
That makes sense. Yeah. Okinawa.
Yeah. So, oh yeah.
Wonder what the secret is. Slower pace?
I don't know. I think it has something to do with maybe they get more exercise because they're walking up and down hills, or maybe the climate, the food. I think it's just like they've done research on it, and it's just a bunch of,
Yeah, they
like,
work hard. I think that's what it is. They do a lot of physical labor.
right. Yeah, for sure.
So, in other words, get our butts in gear, huh?
Oh gosh, yes, I have to.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what's
Well,
going
looks,
on for next week? Who is all going to be here?
I'm planning on it, I think.
I'm planning on it too.
Yeah,
It's my
yeah.
Wednesday date.
Absolutely. I'm
I
not sure.
almost didn't make it today.
I know. We're like, where are you, Crystal?
I know.
Gretchen, do you have anything you want us to talk about next week? Any burning questions on your mind?
I think that, Gretchen, you're right. Closer to nature, physical activity, working hard, not spending lives on the couch on YouTube.
Yeah, but think about our pioneers. Like, they worked so hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
And their lifespan wasn't as long as ours is, though.
No, but they also,
They probably had a lot of stress, too.
they also
They
also had, like, they drank, like, bacteria filled water, and
Yeah.
He died in childbirth.
we
Yeah.
never get a elderly, older farmer person in the hospital, and they're in their mid 80s to 90s. They're usually pretty healthy
Yeah.
because they've lived the life of being a farmer, up early, get out there working and doing all the chores and doing everything and eating natural foods.
Oh, yeah. A lot of vegetables.
I'd always be amazed. You'd look at the age and be like, well, and you couldn't believe the shape the person was in, and ask them what they did for their life, and they'd say, well, they were a farmer.
Yeah.
There's a guy,
Absolutely.
a friend's father, and he has seen his wife pass away and two of his sons, and they died of disease, and he's 98. He smokes like a chimney, and he's just still going strong. So you wonder sometimes, is it a person's mental attitude? Sometimes is that, are they living a stress-free life? It's so hard to say, or is it just genetics? Because obviously it's not, because the rest, his children didn't have his genes and they died early, so I don't know.
That's too bad.
yeah, that is sad. Gretchen said she had an office job, so I'm hoping to make it to 75, which is contributing to me want to avoid returning to the fields.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we all have to get one of them pedal things that you put underneath your desk. So
I
you
used to have one of those.
push when you work in and you get your exercise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, I like that. I had to
just-
help. We just moved back here into the house, and we took the elliptical with us to Virginia, and it was in the basement before, but we had movers bring it out.
Yeah.
Well, guess who had to help my husband bring it back in this weekend?
Oh.
So he's trying to kill me. I can't lift this 500-pound thing up.
Oh boy.
It's fun getting that in the house.
I wouldn't be able to paint and walk at the same time, though.
No,
Or,
I'm
like,
hurting today.
oh,
I've been hurting all week.
With walking.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
did you say quit walking?
I said I wouldn't be walking probably.
Oh, I see.
Gretchen said, I have one at home. It's great. But then work made me go back to the office where it didn't fit.
Oh man.
So I took
I'm
it
glad you got away from that job.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know.
Oh yeah. Well, now you can sit on the couch and watch our Wednesday lives and use it. There you go.
That's it.
She said we're on her calendar. So
Yep. Yeah.
Well,
So
we
what
started
do
late.
we want to talk about next week? Or are we just gonna?
Who's the host next week? Does anyone know?
Is it me
Maybe.
or is it Dar?
It might be Dar. I think I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I want to hear about next week. Well, open for whatever. Yeah, the couch is comfortable, especially in the winter. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
We have to figure out who is the host with the most.
The hostess with the mostest.
Yeah.
Fine.
And subject.
Yeah, we'll hammer it out this week. We have an ongoing chat on Messenger all the time.
Yeah.
Did that guest ever reply back?
That I kind of wanted to do that. Yeah. I wanted to do that a little offline because I wanted to know, figure out like who's going to contact who, just so that we're not like double doing, or like I thought you were going to do it, you thought I was going to do it.
I think
I can do that.
what would be a good idea is,
Let's get in the chat and figure it out.
yeah, well, yeah, that too, but just in general, even StreamYard has a little link that explains the whole process. Is that once you find out you're going to have somebody that wants to come on, you just send them that information straight from StreamYard. But I also think like a little cover letter introducing ourselves and saying what this live is about. So, because I think when I spoke with the one gal that said that she wasn't ready quite yet to do it because of moving and stuff, for some reason, I didn't explain to her enough of what was going on. It was just a quick hit on comments in a YouTube video just to feel her out. And she thought she was going to have to come on and like show doing something.
Oh. Right. I mean, yeah, we would
just a question and answer time, and you don't have to demonstrate anything, not unless you want to, and it's there and it's handy. But I don't know what you guys think about something like that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Or make up a logo for the Flippin Bunch. Have it be like how you have it in 4 different squares, like the other bunch we know, and put our logos inside the 4 squares and have the 4 squares of our logos as the 1 square is the big logo. Does that make sense?
Yes. It makes sense.
It looks the same every time. Is that what you're saying?
What?
That way it looks the same every time somebody sees it on YouTube, their eyes are drawn to it because the graphic appears the same. Is that what you mean?
It would be where that StreamYard duck head is right now.
Oh.
But
Okay.
I would be the only one that would be able to do it, because I don't think that they'll let you do that.
No.
But
Well, I'm going to look into it this week and see. Maybe
correspondence, like to send somebody, email them a cover letter about being a guest on our channel, we can have the 4-way logo on something like that.
Yes.
like the ads with you all with the special hats.
Yeah, I love that.
So I do think that our little Brady Bunch logo thing is our trademark. It is kind of our logo, and it is cohesive. And she recognized it because she mentioned our posts are helpful announcement posts. So I think adding the little stickers for holidays and stuff, is a good idea. But yeah, we could do that.
This live. just so that it look, no matter who it is that's posting it out on YouTube land, that it's going to be recognizable for someone who depends on doing the Wednesday live. So it's going to look, in other words, it would look different than like my normal way that I post. It could be that, like Gretchen said, the 4 faces.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like some variation every week or whatever. You could always write something over it, but it would appear like that. I know that one of the YouTubers that I follow, he has like 3 million subscribers.
Wow.
But he just recently realized that some people couldn't find him because he literally was doing something different on his, what's the little thing you put out there? The thumbnail. His thumbnail was not consistent week after week. So he had a design.
Poor guy. He couldn't.
Yeah. And people would say, I keep
million
looking at you and I
subscribers.
keep
I know,
looking
my
at you."
gosh.
Find him.
The other million didn't get it.
He didn't get it. But I mean, he was more concentrating on the product, his whole podcast, and doing a lot of work in that way. And so the marketing part of it, he just wasn't paying attention to. So somebody helped him out and said, look, design, do whatever you want, like say whatever your title is or whatever, put whatever faces you want, but always have like these colors and always have it set up this way and always use this particular font. That way people are going to see it week after week.
Yeah, like his brand or whatever.
And exactly. Yeah.
The videos I've been watching.
Gretchen thinks it's a great logo. Thank you. That's a Miss
Thank you.
LeBron. She's the
Need
creator.
my PixArt.
Yeah.
I'd be
If you
lost without PixArt.
superimpose an image, include the channel. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We would have to put. Yeah. So I think too. Say. Whatever one you click on, if you see that image, Gretchen, in other words, if you click on it, it'll automatically go to Lavon if she's hosting, or it's going to go to Crystal and Dar and so forth. You know what I mean? But in the community page, when we post like that, then we have to be more specific about who's hosting. But if I can figure out, personally, because I used to be able to do it, I would schedule a live on YouTube, and then you would see that I was going to go live at a particular time. But now StreamYard has changed it, or they put it someplace different, and I didn't find it today.
I don't know. I mean, we do have the option of going live directly from YouTube. We could do that.
Yeah.
We could try it. We could experiment with that.
There was something why Kat and I got off of that. There was a limitation on, I think, the number of people you could put up at one time, but may have changed that by now because they're trying to keep up with everybody else, because there's other apps out there for streaming, not StreamYard. I just watched a comparison between StreamYard and some other one. One was the best, and StreamYard came out on top on that one. So I mean, we could always go with a different one. Don't have to go with StreamYard if you wanted to go to something different.
I think they could go right from their YouTube channel. Do they? I don't know. I'm just talking out of the side of my head.
Well, see, you and I first did a couple videos by ourselves.
Right.
You just did them from YouTube.
I did. But I'm saying, say I created the link and I just sent it to Gretchen. Gretchen could click that link. You want to try it? Gretchen, what are you wearing? I could send her.
Yeah, right now. Well, yeah, if she wants to come on, you go somewhere over on the right, and there is 3 dots or something, and you can click on the 3 dots, and then it'll say add person to the stage.
Yes. Let me.
Yeah, but does Gretchen want to be on here?
Well, no, she would have to click on.
She said next time I'll do that.
No,
I
yeah,
think
she
that's
said
what
not.
she means.
Yeah, I'll do.
When I click on her comment in the 3 stars, I have a choice to delete the comment, put the user in timeout. I'm never going to do that, Gretchen.
You're on timeout. Oh no.
I don't know. It really doesn't give me the option to do that. And I think that's because I don't have the paid version.
It could be.
Yeah.
They really want your money. They got dumb.
Yeah.
I'm just looking to see if I can see how many guests you can have on a YouTube.
I think it's 6.
YouTube?
On YouTube, I don't know.
Yeah.
But with the StreamYard application software, on a non-paid version, Gretchen said she'll do it when she's prepared. Yeah,
Wow.
I couldn't do it anyway.
You're cleaning the tops of your kitchen cabinets.
Yeah.
Come on over, Gretchen.
Yes.
Talk about
Come to my house next.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we better get moving, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did start late, but we're really going late.
Yeah, we were over about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah. Well, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah. Thanks for
everyone.
joining us, Gretchen. And you guys.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you all. We'll figure out who's going to be the posting and a subject, and maybe we should pick a time to try to post it. Like, we can schedule days ahead if you know how to do it.
Well, I do, but
Okay. You're it.
Right.
Tag,
Well, we
you're
can-
it. Yeah.
Well, I think Dar's next anyways. Dar will be the next
I
host.
think she is, yeah. Because it wasn't, I think,
really wanted to get that guy on here because I wanted to try all them newfangled things, like pop up his YouTube site page on there so everybody can see it.
yeah.
His Facebook page so everybody can see what it is.
Yeah, he could create like photos of his shop.
Well, I didn't even have. I've got access by just looking on social media for some pictures,
Right.
even pictures of him and Matt.
The only one I know is Matt. Yeah.
His dad is Tim, and he's the older guy. He's the guy that runs the show. He's the one that's had a furniture store built furniture for, I forgot how many years he said. I want to say 17 maybe. And then like he went out to people's homes to repair furniture, like spot repairs. That's why he's so good at it.
Interesting.
Like, sometimes if you have insurance or you buy something from somebody and it comes with a ding or a scratch, and then they send somebody out to do a repair on it for you. Like, he's done that. So he's really good at it. But anyway, all right. I'm done yakking.
Oh, Gretchen, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And bless you all for coming in.
Gretchen, you're the best.
Yeah.
Love you all.
Bye.
You too.
Bye.
See you next week, guys.
Okay.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.